Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. I'm Peter Gross, co-host of the original Wild Kingdom with Marlin Perkins and Jim Fowler. In the early days of filming wildlife, as you'll see tonight, researchers had to capture animals in order to observe and learn from them. But that's no longer the case today. Modern technology such as drones and satellite tracking offer new ways to study animals in their natural habitat with less intrusion from human touch. Wild Kingdom set the gold standard for nature programming and introduced generations of young people to the wonders of the natural world. Fortunately, the successful research that began with our original series helped many animals make a comeback from the threat of extinction. And that's good news for the Wild Kingdom. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is presented by Mutual of Omaha.
WK, I think we'd wear out before you would. Welcome to Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. WK's jump rope is actually one of the lassos that Stan Brock and I used to help conduct a unique experiment at the Doddieburn Ranch in Rhodesia. On the huge Doddieburn, attempts are being made to domesticate some of Africa's wild herd animals and raise them like cattle. If the plan is successful, it could provide an important new food supply while guaranteeing the preservation of the herds themselves. Stan is a former cowboy, and we were invited to help determine whether the techniques of cattle ranching would work with wild animals.
Our main job was to find out whether lassos and roping horses would be effective against eland and the other swift runners on the ranch. The heavy brush there made throwing the lasso extremely difficult. Also, for short distances, many of the wild animals were faster runners than the horses.
It was a very real challenge, and we were eager to begin. We flew to the Doddieburn Ranch, passing over the rugged bush country in the southern part of Rhodesia. We're right on course, approaching the center of the vast Doddieburn. There's ranch headquarters. Cattle raised here will share this bush country with eland one day if our experiment works. We're nearing the airstrip and just below, elephant. Too big for ranch fences to keep out. Giraffe. They also roam wild here. The landing area is clear of animals. They're always a hazard. Most bush airstrips are short and rough, but there's plenty of room here. We radioed ahead as we neared ranch headquarters, and waiting to meet us is Ian Henderson, owner and manager of the Doddieburn. He's brought the horses we shipped earlier. Here in Africa, lassos and roping horses are unknown, but this seems the best way to catch the animals we're after. The system will be routine on the Doddieburn if Ian's plan succeeds. He's seen giraffe in the nearby bush. Giraffe is one animal Ian hopes to raise in domestic herds. And today we'll learn whether it's possible to rope one from horseback. There's a familiar sight in Africa, a baobab tree. They're sometimes hollow inside, a snug refuge for many animals. you often find one of the small cats or monkeys living in these trees. The heavy bush ahead covers most of the ranch and rules out tranquilizer guns as a capture system. Darted animals would run off and be impossible to find once the drug took effect.
Ian was right. Zebra, antelope, and a giraffe standing behind them. There's a roan. They often feed with zebra and giraffe. He's giving us a careful look, and just beyond, two bulls fighting. We'll want a big one for our roping experiment. Looks like several more in the trees ahead. Close enough. We don't want to spook them. That one looks quiet now, but he could take off in an instant. If we prove it practical to catch and control giraffe, they'll be ideal for sharing cattle land, browsing from high branches while the cattle graze below. Now to pick one. There, a big bull, a real test for my roping horse. He's in the clear. Now there's room to maneuver for a throw. My horse can barely stay with him, running flat out. Too short. He's a surprisingly difficult target, with that long neck bobbing up and down. His head must be 18 feet up. Throwing the lasso that high makes wind resistance a problem. No good. The wind just blows the rope back. I've got to keep him away from the bush. That wind's too much. My only chance is to get closer and throw harder. He's got great power in those long legs. There's a chance he may break the rope. He's tiring, but he's put up a great battle. Almost too much for my horse. Now that we know he can be roped from horseback, we'll release him back to the wild. I'll have to loosen that noose. Good, this may help. If I can reach up with this branch and catch the loop, I can pull it open. The legs are the danger. Their kick can be lethal. If I loosen it enough, he can step right out of it. We've learned an important lesson. It's difficult to rope a giraffe from horseback and tremendously demanding of horse and rider. But it is possible, and improvements in the system may make it easier. Now to try for eland.
The giraffe proved a surprisingly elusive target, and next on our list was an animal that might be even more difficult to catch. We've ridden deep into the acacia thorn bush to a waterhole area where antelope are often seen. There, dead ahead, eland. This is the biggest antelope of them all. Bulls may be 6 feet tall at the shoulder hump. They sometimes graze on new grass, but eland normally eat the leaves from bush and trees. They should share cattle land without competing for food, if we can prove they can be captured and tamed, and that means roping. But Stan can't throw a lasso in this bush. We've got to try our experiment in an open area, so the ranch hands are clearing this land for our roping attempt. The donkey fears approaching horses. Covering its eyes seems to calm it down.
We'll need plenty of running room. Eland are great sprinters.
The main problem will be to drive eland into this area once it's been cleared.
There's more thorn bush that needs cutting, but it looks like the job will be finished soon. While the clearing is prepared, we've got a job to do ourselves. A crocodile has moved into the waterhole the eland use. And there's its chief prey, the calf. Young animals dip their heads to drink, and the croc pulls them in. With crocodiles getting rare, we'll try to take this one unharmed and relocate it. The waterhole's just ahead, and there's the croc. He must be from the Umzingwani River, close by. Crocs often move overland to waterholes like this. We'll use lassos, but this will take extreme care. They're notorious man-killers. The idea is to hang on till he's tired himself out. That whipping tail has enough force to break bone as it sweeps you into the waiting jaws. He can't slip the noose as long as I keep the rope taut. He's huge. He must be at least 14 feet. But he'll tire quickly if I can just stay with it. He's slowing down. Like all reptiles, he hasn't much lasting power. We'll have him if Marlin can get a rope around the jaws.
All the strength in those jaws is for clamping down. He can't open them against the rope. He looks tired enough now to pull him out. He's coming. There's no fight left in him. We'll tie him to a tree on the bank, and he'll soon be in a crate on his way to a new home, far up the river, miles from the Doddieburn. The clearing was ready and our horses were rested. It was time to try for eland. There goes the last load of thorn bush. It's been a big job, but we'll need every square foot of this cleared land once we start chasing eland. Now to search the standing bush for the giant antelope. There are hundreds of them in this waterhole area. There, at the clearing's edge. Another group's moving deeper into the bush. We'll work separately and try to turn one animal toward the clearing.
No good. He's heading back into the bush. I've lost him. But there's another. He's in the open. Just too fast. He can outrun my horse. Marlin's got another. It's coming this way. Those quick turns are impossible for a horse to follow.
That's the second we've lost. But there's one near the clearing. They seem very fast for only a short distance.
snap the rope. With that great size, he's tremendously strong.
Three of them have escaped into the bush. Catching one will be even more difficult than we thought. We need more running room. We'll try this big bull.
The only way to keep him from breaking the rope is to pull him off his feet. His balance is fantastic. That would have knocked down any steer. What an animal! His strength and agility are amazing. I've circled him twice. This should do it. He's big, 1,400 pounds or more, but he'll stay down if my horse keeps the line taut. Lassoing eland will take much more open land and several good horses, but it can be done. We've proved it in our experiment at Doddieburn. Marlin, I think WK wants to skip rope again.
Yeah, he's pretty good at it, too. Our experiment was successful. We had proven that eland could be chased and roped just like cattle, once a large enough area had been cleared of bush. The ranch corrals were soon full of eland, once we perfected the roping technique. The giant antelope calmed down quickly in captivity, and it looked like they would be easy to domesticate. Our experiment at Doddieburn was only a small step forward, but it may bring us closer to the day when eland and other African herd animals are no longer threatened by the onrush of civilization, but are maintained as a valuable asset long after man has claimed their ranges, preserving their place in the wild kingdom.
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Like what you saw? Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for more exclusive content. And visit our website at wildkingdom.com.